Everything we do is for you, Matt. I have to catch myself because it's like I'm, you know, I miss him so much.
Matthew, my boy, everybody said I was spoiling him.
Yeah.
And I did.
He had the biggest dimples. He always smiled. This is another gift he made for me for Mother's Day. And this one too.
We haven't done anything different to his room. I mean, it's exactly pretty much the same.
I'm wondering if you can share with me a little bit about the day that Matthew died.
Well, it just seemed like almost like a perfect day up to, you know, Mia cooked food and everything, chicken pot pie, if I'm not mistaken, and we had dessert. And he sat there, watched TV with me, and he always liked to snuggle up next to me. I'd always rub my face in his hair because he had nice curly hair and stuff. He asked if he could go upstairs and watch TV or get on the internet, and we said, okay, you got 1 hour.
It was that 1 hour in 2019 that would change Mia and Todd Minor's lives forever, when their 12-year-old son Matthew was found unresponsive by his brother.
He yelled down, come upstairs quick. We looked, we saw Matthew had something around his neck. We didn't know what was going on with that, but we got that from around his neck. I laid him down and I started CPR. The emergency people came, they got Matthew, but probably at 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m., that's when they came in and told us that Matthew had passed. Then we talked with the detectives. He looked at Matthew's devices. He told us that there were these online challenges going around.
Kids were calling it the chokeout challenge, a dangerous viral trend where people on social media would intentionally try to choke themselves to enter a brief state of euphoria. The Minors say detectives searched Matthew's scrolling history, but couldn't determine which app led him to the challenge.
When you looked at videos of this challenge, what was it like thinking of your son doing that?
It was very cartoonish, fun, and playful. And so from a kid's standpoint, it just, why not? They have their electronics in their pocket. They're getting hit with social media on a regular. Try it, you must try it, you must try it. This one says, everybody loves you. God is taking care of you now. You're in a better place. Matthew, rest in peace. I know you're in a better place and God is taking care of you. God has a nice place for you.
Classmate after classmate at Matthew's memorial revealed to the Minors that they also had tried the challenge.
That's when we were starting to think something needed to be done. Some cards and...
May I share something with you? Hello, we just want to give you a business card about our kids online, advocating safety, online safety for our kids.
Mia and Todd launched the Matthew E. Minor Awareness Foundation to highlight the risks of viral challenges on apps like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram.
You know, because Matthew can't speak for himself, and the other kids that out there that can't speak for themselves, and the kids that have reported things, and the big tech companies haven't done anything about it.
The parents have now made it their life's mission to share Matthew's story, from churches to classrooms to Capitol Hill.
This meeting of the Senate Judiciary Committee will come to order.
In January, they sat just rows behind the CEOs of 5 of the biggest tech companies during a Senate hearing about child safety online.
But you have blood on your hands.
Well, they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures. Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
I just was happy to see him say something.
Yeah.
It didn't matter how we got there, but I also started looking at it through Matthew's eyes, and I started feeling sorry for Mark Zuckerberg, to be honest, because I could see the I could see things churning in his head.
Snapchat, Meta, TikTok, and YouTube sent statements to ABC News, all highlighting added features to the platforms they say make the user experience safer for kids. Studies show that for many teens, social media can be a place to find community, but for others, it may be linked to mental health risks. 95% of young people between the ages of 13 and 17 report using a social media platform. 1/3 say they're on it almost constantly.
We don't have a fully developed brain until we're out of adolescence. A fully developed brain has complete access to the frontal lobe, which houses our capacity to self-regulate, which means that they're not going to have all the skills that are really beneficial to being able to work well with social media.
Last May, the U.S. Surgeon General sounded the alarm, calling it a youth mental health crisis. The report by the top health official cited data that found teens spend more than 3 hours a day on social media, which can double their risk of poor mental health outcomes like sleep disorders, depression, or anxiety.
If you had a car seat and 50 kids broke their arm because of a manufacturing defect in that car seat, we would recall that car seat. And yet every year, thousands of kids in the United States alone are seriously harmed by social media, and yet we don't act.
Frances Haugen is a former Facebook employee turned whistleblower.
I knew what date I was going to leave, and as I began to organize my documentation, it became apparent to me that the problems were far, far bigger than even I could document.
In 2021, she disclosed tens of thousands of internal documents that claimed Facebook and Instagram were ignoring the risks to young users on their platforms and prioritizing profits instead.
I believe Facebook's products harm children, stoke division, and weaken our democracy.
Facebook had choices to make their products safer for kids, and yet they repeatedly chose not to, all the while lying to the public about the safety of their products for kids.
After Haugen leaked the documents and in reaction to the Surgeon General's warning, a bipartisan group of 33 state attorneys general filed a major lawsuit against Meta. It accused the tech giant of exploiting kids and teens by designing algorithms, likes, notifications, and scrolling features that encourage compulsive use. The lawsuit cited an internal Meta email describing the profit earned from young users, saying the lifetime value of a 13-year-old teen is roughly $270. In a statement in response to the lawsuit, Meta said, "We want to reassure every parent that we have their interests at heart in the work we're doing to help provide teens with safe experiences online. We've developed more than 50 tools and features to do this. These are complex issues, but we will continue working with experts and listening to parents to develop new tools, features, and policies that are effective and meet the needs of teens and their families."
One of the most telling anecdotes told in the Attorney General's filings is about Facebook running very simple experiments, saying, should we send notifications to children during the school day? Should we send notifications late at night when they should be sleeping? It turns out when you don't send kids notifications during the school day, they're less stressed. But those experiments decreased the amount of usage by like 1%. And so when they had to decide, should we prioritize the health of children or should we, 1% more usage, they chose 1% more usage.
Her Capitol Hill testimony prompted swift pushback from Meta Zuckerberg, who posted, "I spent a lot of time reflecting on the kinds of experiences I want my kids and others to have online, and it's very important to me that everything we build is safe and good for kids."
Every day we get up, we have the realization that our son isn't here.
Do you blame big tech for Matthew's death?
Yes.
I blame.
Yes, because of the algorithms.
The miners took their fight to their home state of Maryland, lobbying for a bill called the Kids Code. It bans tech companies from using system design features to increase, sustain, or extend the use of the online product for users under the age of 18. The bill was passed with unanimous support and was signed into law this month by Maryland Governor Wes Moore. The miners proudly watched from inside the room.
What message would you have to other parents as they're looking at their kids on social media?
Yes, it's our job to keep our kids safe online. That duty will never go away, but it's also big tech's responsibility. They already knew that this was addictive. And they already knew that, hey, kids are worth, what, $200 and some odd. And when I heard that, especially at the hearing, my heart dropped. If milk wasn't regulated, they'd take it off the market. If something else caused illness, they take it off the market. I'm not saying we take it off the market, but I'm just saying work with the parents. This is our service.
Yeah.
And this is what we're gonna do till the day we die.
Coming up, we go straight to the source, talking to teens themselves about what rules and regulations could actually make a difference in their day-to-day scrolling.
When I found out about the whole DJing thing and seeing it for the first time, I wanted to try it.
This is Tupac, and I got the vinyl.
I never thought I would get this far because, I was sitting at a little table, my little baby controller, and just making videos, and it just took off.
13-year-old Marley Desenord is the youngest DJ in the NBA, spinning tracks for the Miami Heat. It's a dream gig she says was only made possible thanks to her combined 140,000 followers on Instagram and TikTok.
They actually saw me through social media. They reached out one day, they emailed my dad.
Marley started making the videos when she was 7.
I was too young, so my dad had to open an account for me.
Within months, she'd gone viral.
I was in disbelief. I was like, wait, she's got this many followers already? And I said, look, Marley, how many people are reviewing your videos? She'd be like, wow.
I was scared of social media for, kids, and, there's a lot of predators, and I'm the worry one here, but they did it, and now I encourage it.
Marley's dad, Rodney, says he actively manages the accounts, deleting any negative comments.
She never seen a negative comment ever. You got one that says, great job, Marley. I give her a set amount of minutes, 45 minutes a day, to do everything that she has to do. It's really just to help you stay disconnected from that.
But a new law in Florida threatens to shut down the avenue that's led Marley to her success.
I see where the government is coming from on that matter, but I also see that you can't paint just one brush and try to shut down social media for every child under 14.
There's two sides to this. I know there's kids who just use it, scroll for hours, all day. But then there's other kids like me who want to promote themselves.
The law called HB 3 would make it illegal for any child under the age of 14 to open a social media account. Users under that age would have to close theirs. Teens who are 14 and 15 would need parental consent to open an account. Tech companies could face fines for not removing users, and parents could sue them for up to $10,000.
We are putting the onus back on the platforms to comply with Florida law. It's akin to as if it was a warning on a pack of cigarettes.
Florida Democratic State Congresswoman Michelle Rayner helped spearhead the legislation through the state legislature.
I really want these social media companies to be held accountable for what they have been knowingly doing to our kids.
There you go.
HB 3 was signed into law in March by Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and is set to take effect in January.
Being buried in those devices all day is not the best way to grow up. It's not the best way to get a good education.
We see adults who can't regulate themselves on social media, but we're expecting, children ages, 13, 14, 15, even younger to be able to regulate.
According to federal law, 13 is the youngest legal age to open most social media accounts. But a 2023 advisory from the U.S. Surgeon General said nearly 40% of children ages 8 through 12 still have one.
The way social media, it asks you to keep coming back because of the dopamine hit you get when you receive likes or when you receive comments. So it's naturally designed to make it so that you can't put it down. And then what you are seeing is also potentially quite damaging.
Developmental psychologist Dr. Eliza Pressman says too many kids are spending too much time scrolling instead of sleeping, which can lead to sleep disorders, depression, and anxiety.
Sleep is so inextricably linked to mental health and growth and brain development. So sleep is key, and we often are scrolling at night in our beds.
At least 30 states put forward legislation this year claiming to improve kids' safety on and offline. But many of these measures are already facing backlash. The ACLU in Florida says the state's new law intrudes on free speech rights for adults and minors.
I've seen time and time again how little youth voices are considered.
Hannah Zulek is a queer 18-year-old. They were behind a lawsuit that helped repeal a Utah law that would have banned anyone under the age of 18 from using social media without parental approval.
There's not a whole lot of other ways to connect with queer communities in Utah if you're a minor and the group you're in isn't necessarily supportive. There are places to do that, but it's difficult.
Utah is now advancing 2 new bills meant to hold big tech responsible for age verification and preventing them from sharing and collecting minors' data without parental consent. The bills also limit screen time to 3 hours a day for anyone under 18 years old.
When I spoke at that committee hearing on the bill, I was the only person under 18 who spoke, and no one said anything about anything I'd brought up.
We wanted to speak directly to those most affected by new social media regulations, including Hannah, Marley, and their fellow Gen Zers.
I want to do an exercise here with all of you because we have the chance to be sitting with all of you together. Raise your hand if checking social media is something that you do within the first hour of waking up every day. A reluctant 6 hands.
It's definitely not the first thing I want to be doing every day.
No question, but yet it is.
Yet it is.
Why do you think that is?
A lot of my social interaction happens on social media, so it feels important and like I need to check it in the morning, you know? I want to see who's trying to talk to me, what's happening. Like, my whole life revolves around it.
Whether or not my morning goes well is if I have notifications, or if I have notifications on Instagram or Snapchat. If people are trying to reach out to me, that kind of gives me a boost of like happiness in the morning. But at the same time, you have the risk of not having the right notifications that you want. You wake up, either you're in a good mood because of what you see, or you're in a bad mood. And usually it is you're in a bad mood.
What app, if you had to choose one?
Snapchat. I mean, for me and all of my friends, I think that's our main platform of communication. It's where I talk to everyone. I mean, I think sometimes I have so many conversations on my phone on Snapchat that I then see my friends in person and we don't have anything to even talk about because it's just, we've texted about it already.
So that leads us to this question of what to do about regulating social media. I'm so happy that we get a chance to sit and talk to all of you because you guys are the people who might be most affected by a lot of what's talked about from lawmakers. Start with you, Zaman. You have made a push to be kind of on the front lines of regulating social media.
So I would love to know from all of you what we can do.
Some of the regulation that we're thinking about puts the onus on the social media platforms to build these products to be safer for kids and teens, rather than like us and our parents trying to police and figure out like how to use these platforms effectively.
If I were to provide regulations, it would be just reminders when you open the app, maybe like, this is not real. This is not what reality is. This is curated to fit what you want to see.
Do you feel like even a simple reminder like that would make a difference?
Yeah, definitely. I think positive affirmations on Instagram, for example, would actually help the audience a little bit. Like, just to remind them that it's not real. It's just curated.
We grew up with these apps. Social media should be a safe space for us to express ourselves and explore our identities. And we have to think of social media almost as a playground where kids are growing up and they're meeting new people. And do we really want their equipment to be defective?
Social media is enough a part of our world at this point that it's not going to go away. And if we simply ban it for everybody under the age of 18, say, then we have the problem of as soon as these people turn 18, well, then you wander into the world that's full of social media and you don't know what to do with it.
Marley, I'm curious what you think about that, having had such a big break at the age of 7, in part because of social media.
I don't think so. I don't agree with that. I feel like it should be more up to the parents. And they can do that. Like, for example, screen time, to limit how much their kids are on social media and stuff like that.
What do you think, Miriam? Do you think that this is a solution? Are some of these, even just little nudges on the apps, a solution to help get rid of some of that negativity?
In a perfect world, there wouldn't even be an algorithm that is based on what you like to see. I know that's not what a lot of people like to hear. In like all the posts, I feel like you should be exposed to multiple concepts.
I mean, for me, I disagree with that because I like opening social media and seeing the stuff I like. Like outside of DJing, I like watching the basketball stuff and even just stuff like that.
I probably wouldn't use social media as much as I do, you know, if it wasn't curated to what I like. But I think that also I don't want to be on social media as much as I am to begin with. You know, I see it affecting my ability to have meaningful relationships with people. I see it affecting my motivation in school.
The way I see it, I think there could be almost an in-between where you could still see the things you like, but without necessarily the downsides of the algorithm. One of the platforms I am on a fair bit, Tumblr, has different tags, and you can follow the tags you like, and then you see posts under those tags, but it's not algorithmic.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Hannah's saying, and I would love to see the Instagram algorithm like give you options instead to pick from like a set of topics that you're interested in. And if you don't like those topics after a month or so, you can unselect those and choose new ones. Because right now, we are the product. We just are passive receivers of content. And unfortunately, like that's what creates some of the addictive nature of these platforms.
I think for me is less in the content that I'm being shown, but more the amount of time that I'm spending on these platforms, you know, living in other people's moments, keeping us in these little bubbles, you know, and we should be expanding and talking to real people and having these real world experiences.
Who says you can't put gangsta and love music together?
Many of these teens are at the center of this nationwide debate. Will regulations improve their time online or impede on their rights? It's a battle that's been raging on behind the scenes at these social media companies for years and is only now bubbling up to public consciousness.
Everything we do is for you.
As it encompasses more and more of our everyday lives, what of the innocent lives caught in the middle, cut too short? What of the dangers still lurking?
I believe Facebook's products harm children.
It's those questions left to lawmakers and parents and teens turned activists to decipher. As a generation that grew up swiping is now seemingly unable to escape a new landscape of social media.